everybody. I am back again with another live because I didn't manage my time very well this week and I have used up all of my backlog of recorded videos. So here we are. As promised, I wanted to do some plotting videos and some procrastination videos. So you've seen my side quest videos. Those are the procrastination videos that I did with tips and tricks on how to not procrastinate or to make the things that you procrastinate on work for you, whether that's like self-help, not self-help, self-care, or whether that is using social media that you're going to scroll through anyway to boost your business or your author brand or something like that. Hey, Andy, thank you for booping the like button. And then the plotting videos I've done are, let's see. I'm looking at my list over here to the side of my screen here. So let's see. Tarot, I'm doing the dice today. And I think that's all I've done so far for the plotting. What's coming up, I do believe, is just using books. But with dice, you can use those books too. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? I'm going to share this. Here we go. I've got this open in Canva just so if y'all want to interact with it, you can add some ideas and whatnot. Later on in the comments, I can put this as a shareable file. That way you can edit it if you want to and use it for creating a plot for yourself. Today, we're just going to work on Act 1 because it's difficult to work on Act 2 and 3 whenever you don't have Act 1 figured out. But this will get you started. It'll get the ideas flowing and you'll find a vibe. Usually, well, I do at least, as soon as I get this Act 1 figured out. Hey, JC, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Now, looking at this, you're probably wondering how I came up with this list. This is stuff kind of off the top of my head. Half of it was, but I also have a running list in my notebook or my Supernote. They're in two different places, unfortunately, but have it in my Supernote, and I have list in this right here too. So the group date or friend dragged along kind of thing came from one of my lists. The town crier with news playing in the background kind of thing came from one of my lists too. The rest I kind of picked up from this right here. This is Roll and Play Press. I highly recommend these books. I'm going to drop the link into the chat here in just a minute, but they have different tables. Now, most of these are for fantasy, but you can kind of get a couple of ideas for other genres as well. But they have tables that you can roll on. That's not really a good one. But this one right here, it calls for a D6, and it's traps and hazards. Like a setback to overcome. It's not going to focus very well, but that's okay. But they have this book. If you sign up for their newsletter, they send you new tables, which are like the pages that I showed you. And I also showed you this during the AWC as well. But yeah, some of this came from there. Now, plotting with dice, I did a list of 12. You can do a 20. You can do a 6 if you want to. And you can pull these from books that you've read because even though you're borrowing from other people, you are going to make it your own because it's your voice, it's your characters, it's your ideas. You're going to have a new twist to it. You're going to do something a little bit different than Joe Bob in the corner. So with Act 1, you have your introduction into the world, your introduction to the main character. So what are they going to do? How are you going to start this? Well, you can have them in a tavern or a bar or at a party, something that's rather festive. You can have, yes, Joe Bob. You can have them being dragged with one of their best friends into a group date or to a party or something like that. Maybe they are walking along the sidewalk and they are just rambling to themselves out loud, and there's people that stare at them, and maybe one of those people that are staring kind of approaches them, and there's your meet cute for your romance. Maybe it's a classroom. Maybe you open up with a scene with your main character listening to a piece of news, whether that's like a town crier if you're back in the past, or a TV playing a news broadcast or something like that. Hey, Eva. Hello again, I should say. Or something to that nature. You can open up with their mealtime, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or something in between. They're a hobbit, so they have one of 8 meals or 12. I can't remember how many. But anyway, maybe it's with family or friends that can let you know what their norm is, or maybe it's just their pet. Maybe it's the end of a war. Your main character is a veteran and they are returning home. Funeral, enough said about that. Hiking or exploring. A central location in a town or a city or whatever you have. If you have like a dystopia type world, maybe it's a meeting place for all the different clans come together, and that's where you start. A job interview. Maybe they're jobless or they're searching for a new job, and that can also be your inciting incident as well. Or maybe 2 characters just literally run into each other anywhere. But that's your introduction into the world. You want to bring the reader in and just settle them down for the story. Your second thing that you're going to do is your inciting incident. And this can be just anything. Most of mine are kind of fantasy related, but maybe a portal pops up and your character gets sucked in. If you want to write an isekai, by the way, our isekai character randomizer is going to be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on this channel, so don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope it's a lot of fun. Your inciting incident can be the monster or villain appears, mysterious happenings go awry. Your character finds themselves having to go on an adventure or a quest in order to find something for somebody. Maybe that new job has them going on an adventure. Their town or home is attacked. The pet runs away or is kidnapped. Somebody's kidnapped. The main character can be kidnapped. Maybe they have a strange assignment for a class and they have to go out of their norm. It's got to be something that pulls the character out of their norm. So what you do with these lists is you get your D12 or D6, however many you have on your list, and you roll. And that is where you start. If you are a hardcore plotter, then you use this as a starting point. You build upon this and do your paragraph of plotting. But then you can go further on into Act 1 and roll on some more lists so that you can plot to that next point in Act 1. This is, of course, the reaction to the inciting incident or the rebellion towards the inciting incident, the drama that ensues, and then the consequence that happens for that character not to react in the way that they need to be. They really rebelled. That can look like they're panicking, they run away, they use any kind of excuse like they're sick or something like that. They dawdle because, they have to gather all the things before they go on the quest. They are in love with somebody that probably isn't right for them, and they do not want to leave. That my love, I shall not leave line. Maybe they, like on 12, that doesn't exist. It's lies. It's all lies. They don't believe that the monster is real. Maybe it attacked the next town over and they heard news about it, or maybe they slept through it. It's not real. But then the consequence, which is the 6 right here, there's another attack. They can't return to normal because maybe they are too far away from their home, the portal thing, or they no longer have a home. They have all of the rage and anger and betrayal that is built up, and they go do whatever they need to do anyway. Something else is taken, something more precious is taken, or they have some kind of mentor or somebody in their life that they respect telling them that they have to do this. And then, of course, in Act 1, you next have your pressure or plot twist. Why are you doing this to me, bro? Kind of thing. You can roll a d12 on this or a d6, depending on how long your list is. The bestie turns out to be a baddie. That's a really good plot twist that I really like. More secrets are revealed. Murphy's Law is a good one, especially for adventure or quest fantasies, because Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong no matter what. And it just builds from there. And that is a good quest builder. If you can't really think of anything for a plot twist or the pressure point that pushes them into what they need to do, into the new version of their world or new way of thinking, instead of using dice, maybe go to the tarot cards and do a pull. You can also, again, use something like the roll and play books, but most of AuthorTube have these books. Everybody has like the emotional thesaurus, which I left back over there. But there is the emotional wound thesaurus. This right here is a good book to find a push. This right here is their need to move on, their need to move into the new world. And it has a lot of pages, but you can flip through here and pick out ones that you think that you can write or that would be interesting or that maybe you think haven't been done before, and then add them to a list and then roll dice. Or you can roll 100 die, and whatever page that lands on, that's what you use to push your character through. This is also really good character builders because they have the positive trait. There's a negative trait as well. Again, the emotional wound too. This right here is another book that you can use for a push into the new world, which is the conflict thesaurus. Again, you can roll dice and whatever page it lands on, that's what you use. Or you can flip through here and pick one that interests you, or if you pick several and you still can't decide, add it to a list like you see here. But yeah. And then, of course, you move into Act 2, which is the new world and what the heck are we doing kind of thing. Act 2, these are some of the plot points that you do in Act 2, no matter what genre you write, you add on to this or take away from this depending on the genre. It's the new world, it's the fun and games, or the training montage. The character has a moment where they regress into the old way of thinking or the old way of behaving, or maybe they even go back to their hometown kind of thing, or a family member or something comes to see them and they have to return in some way. Then you have the build-up, midpoint, twist, or reversal. Again, with the twist or reversal, you can go back to the slide here with the reaction and rebellion if you want to, or even another inciting incident kind of thing, and pick one from there. Consequences. Your main character is usually like the fool out of the tarot card. Murphy's Law follows them. Anything and everything can happen to them. Then they have the tests and trials and rededication. The reason why I didn't create lists for this is because it's kind of difficult to create Act 2 and Act 3 without the foundation of Act 1 to build on. So if I were to go back and actually roll some things, then I could probably create more lists for Act 2 and Act 3 points. But since we're not doing this, and I hope not to keep you too awful long, Act 3, here's some other points that you can do. Act 3 is kind of where your character finds themselves in the midst of perfection almost. They love it when a plan comes together. If you want to borrow from A Team, and then everything crashes and burns because Murphy's Law. Act 3, you have the calm before the storm. Then you have another twist, or they fail at something, which leads them into the darkest hour, or the dark moment of the soul, or however you want to label that. And then something pulls them out of that, like they get a new power, they gain some kind of inspiration to where they reawaken, or they have a new resolve to rally up and take charge. And then everything just comes together and converges for the battle, the face-off, the climax. And then you have the resolution or the return to normal. If it's a flat character arc, or it's into new normal, if it's a growth character arc or a regression character arc, depending on which one you build. If you need help building a character, I have several character randomizers up here on my channel. It's in a playlist. So make sure to check those out if you want to. Again, it's creating a character with dice. It's a lot like set up like this. And yeah. Hopefully in my next plotting video, I will go over some D&D tricks because Roll and Play Press is built off of D&D. And you can use that for a character build or a plot build or something like that. Okay. Been here for about 20 minutes. I want to thank y'all for joining me. I kind of wanted to do a short video of this because I honestly did not have any time to record. I mismanaged my scheduling just a little bit. And here we are. We're doing a live stream, so I don't have to take the time to edit it. You can hear all of my ums and my moments where my brain goes blank and all that good stuff. But if you haven't, I highly recommend looking through the trait thesauruses or emotional thesaurus or anything like that. They are by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi, something like that. But I will try to leave a couple of links down in the comments below. I'll have one pinned with links to these guys and to the Roll and Play Press website, so you can at least sign up for their newsletter and see if the tables work out for you. That way you can see if you really want to invest in one of these books. They have a character builder book too, and a couple of other things. I think they have a couple of Kickstarters going on right now too. Could be wrong. They do have journals where you can use the journals to build a plot, build the character, and then build a D&D campaign or a book. Yes, I'll understand mismanaging your time. Yes, very much so. Yeah, you did. All right. So again, thank you so much. Another reminder, character randomizer, since we didn't do it yesterday, is going to be on Tuesday, the 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I also have my usual live streams on Thursday at 9 a.m. And we will have another Breaking the Block on Sunday at 10 a.m. But it's going to be on Rachel's channel, Rachel D. Adams. And yeah. Thank you, and I hope y'all have a great day.